So what you know about teamwork? Cause I've been in the clouds trying to make the dream work. Always done it on my own, that's why it seem hurt. Cause I ain't met no one that ever put me first. So what I know about teamwork? Cause I've only ever done it on my lonesome. I gotta deal through it out, yeah, I grown some. Don't expect love if you've never shown none. I spent last year in the haze, so many records got made. I kept that shit to myself, I only wanted my pay. I took some time from stage, got in the bed with the snakes. They wasn't doing their job, I let them slither away. I wanna build me a team, so I can get to my fans. I need someone on my side, that's gonna give me a chance. But shit just ain't what it seems, don't let them in on your plans. I hope they know what I mean, I hope that you understand. So never land, never pan out. Wings talk, think I better let them span out. Was too chill, think I better let the man out. Grew up with hand-me-downs, now I'm never taking handouts. Man, if you knew all the things I'm watching when I'm planned out. But I need help to do it, so can I get a fan count? Never understood me, now it's funny how I stand out. Me, myself, and I, homie, welcome to the madhouse. So what you know about teamwork? Cause I've been in the clouds trying to make the dream work. Always done it on my own, that's why I seem hurt. Cause I ain't met no one that ever put me first. So what I know about teamwork? Cause I've only ever done it on my lonesome. I gotta deal through it out, yeah, I grown some. Don't expect love if you've never shown none. I know my girl on my side, I'm trying to build this alive. Thank all my family alive, and I just wanna provide. They say it's gonna take time, but I've been losing my mind. She helps me grow and evolve, my family ready to ride. So why am I feeling low, when life is giving me highs? I put my value in sales instead of hoops by my side. But I can see it's the front, that's why I'm not coming back. Yeah, I was slow to react. Don't give a damn what they thought of it. Yeah, I'm feeling glorious. Go flash from the audience, man, should've recorded it. I took a color pill, used my computer skills. Now I got agents after me, word up to Morpheus. The future I sorted it, do this till I'm bored with it. Invest in myself endeavors, hope I don't get audited. My body is a temple, but I fucked up the ornaments. I'm so gassed up, the US probably at war with it. It's a message to the earthlings. Join the team round here, we put the work in. It ain't teamwork if only one of us is working. Only thing I'm signing is when fans bring the merchants. I ain't got a thing yet that I wasn't deserving. And I ain't famous yet, but that bitch be flirting. I'll make it rain, start a wave and go surfing. I'll make it rain, start a wave and go surfing. So what you know about teamwork? And what I know about teamwork?
Hello, hello. Okay, let me know how this sounds. Trying out these headphones one more time before I throw them in the trash. Hey, Grandma Sherry. Denise, I hope you're back. Hey, Nicole B, how are you, love? Hey, the dumpster squirrel. I love that name. Hey, yep. Just tips strolling through, spreading the love. Thank you, hon. Mama's gonna flip. My dog was growling. I don't know. Gavel Geeks, how are you, hon? Hey, Vic. Laura. Hazel Rose. All right. Thank you, Grandma Sherry. Hey, Wendy. Hey, Tracy. TLC. Jim Jules. The good Tiffany. Sally. Doing a body chemical peel. Ooh, I need to do a facial chemical peel. Maybe even a body one. I have brown, they're really light sunspots from, I'm a very fair individual, and before I became adult, I did not wear sunscreen properly, and I hurt myself too many times as a kid, and so now I have these like little brown splotches. I'm like, I need to do a chemical peel. Lisa. Oh, StreamYard, don't be happy. Hello, Lily White. Hey, Salty C. Oh, you have a great day at work. Hey, Tracy, not Tracy. Rarely care. I want to catch up on stuff too. I tried to catch up on a few things. Y'all been busy. A week away, y'all have been busy. Hey, Okie Crime News. Yeah, it's the best, maybe. It really is. You should be getting all the praise for it. I'm not creative with names, so I love that. Oh, Brandy, I'm glad you liked it. I'm so sorry it was a day late. I set it for um the 27th and woke up the next morning and I was like, oh no, I put it to unlisted instead of premiere. But I hope you're doing well. I'm praying for you. Truly am, girl. I hope things are going good. You know it's gonna get rough and stay strong. Hey Joneson. Hey Kate. Is it crackly? Okay, let me just ditch these stinking headphones. All right. I was gonna try to use the headphones because I have a fan on in the background because it is we're under a mega heat wave. And even though the AC is set down low, it feels hot in here. So I always feel like if I have a fan on me, I don't feel hot, So I have a fan going in the other room. And I was like, I didn't want it to sound horrible. They are quaking. Yep. Oh my goodness. Hey, Skilo. Hey, Peggy. So I saw someone with a Deets t-shirt on. A Deets t-shirt? Hmm. That's interesting. Hey, Vito. Hey, Headstones. Thanks, Grain. I had a great time away, guys. No, I don't have merch. It must have been something else. Tennessee Southern Hell, you be careful driving, ma'am. Hey, Jenny. Same it to you. How are you, love? It sounds so much better, and I can't get my earbuds on. It's fine. Yep, it's always better without the headphones. Always. I don't know why I keep trying it, but hopefully that fan isn't heard. It's not. There's actually a new feature on StreamYard that I was able to click that says reduce mic background noise. So that's new. Hey, Laura. Hey. There are a lot of beautiful creators in here. Sure are. So let me pull something up for you guys real quick. Um, yeah, like I said, y'all have been busy. I so normally when I go on vacation, we go on I don't know, 4 to 6 vacations a year. And normally when we go on a trip, I don't fully disconnect. I mean, I might say I'm disconnecting, but I don't fully disconnect from the internet, my apps, things like that. But I did this time. I truly did. And I'm so glad that I did. It was definitely worth it, except for one night. One night my phone started going nuts with emails. And let me just be frank with y'all. I typically have my notifications off on everything. I don't get Discord notifications. I rarely get YouTube notifications anyway. I have my text message notifications off. Sometimes my phone notifications off. The only one I leave on is Snapchat because my kids get a hold of me through Snapchat. So I typically have like everything off. So I don't know how I was getting email notifications, but it was going nuts. And so I checked it out and it was people telling me about Heels Live and that I needed to go listen to what she was saying about me. So I did while sitting out enjoying the ocean sounds. Aww. It's been a tough week, but we got a boost cue at the end with yes, the countersuit. Uh, Gwen's got a countersuit going in here. I haven't. I watched someone went over that when I was trying to catch up yesterday. You enjoyed that Monopoly. You and my son, he's addicted to it too. Yeah, the whole country is hot, hot, hot. I do have an app that doesn't. Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. I live on Do Not Disturb also. Hey, Burden. Thank you, Monica. Oh my gosh. Hey, Richard, how's it going? We did. We had a great time. I hope you're doing good. I need to catch up on all the things Portland, but I'm so glad to see you in here. So I went and listened, and where I was before hearing that live was that, it is what it is. I had questions initially, and that's kind of what my stream was about. Like I don't feel like what Shady did was doxing at all. And not definitely not by the legal definition of doxing either. And prior to my first live stream, I'd been getting a lot of tags and questions. And so I thought, hey, this is something the whole community is curious about, is talking about. Let's just offer a space where we could all come together and discuss. And that's what I did. Um, was it wrong? Was it right? I don't know. That you be the judge, and that's fine. But the way that her name wasn't tagged in that video, it wasn't in the title, none of those things. And the way that this last live was going, and there was just a couple things said about me, but I was like, did I not portray what my live was about, what we were trying to do over here correctly? Or maybe I would just misremembered it. And I wasn't thinking, yeah. Well, and he right. And technically he didn't even dox. Not technically. But yeah, I get what you're saying. He did, and it was all out there, and people had questions. And I'm sorry, I'll never buy that. Don't talk because then Betty will know your voice. Well, you'd already been on live stream, so I felt like that was like a bogus excuse. Sorry. But anyway, I digress. There was a couple things said in that live, this last live about me that I wanted to clear up. One, I don't know why she brought up her daughter, my daughter, and her daughter-in-law and that whole situation, because it had absolutely nothing to do with anything. I had never once mentioned her daughter, none of those things. I didn't mention any of that. Something she told me in private, I kept very close to the vest, didn't discuss with anyone, and never put out there. And I didn't know her daughter was married to a woman. It doesn't matter. I would have congratulated her on that had I known. There was no reason to slip that into the last live because I never said anything about that, nor would I have ever said anything about that. It had nothing to do with the circumstance or any of those things. So I didn't bring any of that up. So I don't know why that was kind of put in there with my name mushed around it, because it was kind of confusing because she was all over the place. Um, I'm talking about heels grain, but and I still don't fully understand the two sentences that were mixed in with her daughter, my daughter, all that. But um, I never mentioned her daughter or any of those things, so I don't know why that was put there. And then the second thing was the when she was playing through that video, and this is what got me blocked in her chat. She's playing through that video, and there's a clip of my live that me and my son did, and she made a reference to it being such a rough week because of her. Well, I'm sorry, you weren't mentioned anywhere in the live that I did with my son. It says that it's been a crazy week, let's chill, but there's a whole lot of other things happening in this community besides you, and it was not encompassing you. And the only time that you were mentioned was when the glarer hopped up and he said, "Hey, are we talking about heels?" And we said, "No, we're talking about this." So I don't know why that was put in there at all, and you made no mention or reference to why you put it in there. And so I come into your chat and politely ask, "Hey, why is that in there?" And I get called a backstabber and all these other things. And that's fine. You feel how you want to feel. Cool. But I still don't know why that clip was put in there, and it shouldn't have been. So
Yeah, she was all over it, and that's fine, and I wanna move on from that, I don't know if move on's the right word, and that's why, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? I thought let me share this real quick. I was very clear at the end of my live how I felt. Let me see. My initial live. Let's see. But I agree, take a moment, breathe, and I truly do. Let's see if sure there's gonna be some really great creators. I bet Rabbit.
She didn't get to make a big shit show out of Summer's Day. Not happening. Not as long as this Nana's around.
Oh, did she? Yep, just gave us a spoiler alert. Oh no, I'm sure there's gonna be some really great creators. I bet one live about that. That was not the case, and she didn't fake it. I guess I'll go listen to that and sharing that out.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. I love everything that you do for Summer.
Well, thank you.
Oh my God,
Everybody have a great
love
day.
yourself
Much
a lot,
love to
by
all.
the way. Bye, Nina.
Stop strong, bitches.
She's so hungry. Nana said it better than I ever could. I agree, Heels. I think that you are a wonderful creator, and I think that you have a beautiful heart, and I think that's why a lot of people are struggling because this doesn't match up with a person that we've come to know, and it sucks. But I agree, take a moment, breathe, and I truly do hope that it is a 110% like about face, and that this is not the individual that you are. And I agree, it can be a very forgiving community on any level. I can't speak for others, but for myself, when people just own their stuff, when Bullhorn Betty's and Laura's and when Queen and me and Dolly and Claire and all of that, and we're called out on something that we've done is wrong, own it. If we just own it, apologize, and do better going forward, it speaks volumes. People are very forgiving. Very forgiving. Same thing to you too, Tiffany. Own it. You can stream me all day long but that's how I ended it. I had a couple questions and I got the answers that I needed for those questions without getting the answers. So um, I left it at that. And there was nothing more for me to say on it. So I really don't know why both of my children got thrown into that last live stream. It made absolutely no sense. But I just wanted to clear that little portion up that I never spoke on her daughter, nor would I have. So I don't know why she said that. Yep, all you can do is move on. She'll go her way and continue to not, well, and that's up to her. It's so funny the things that I did ask her about that I had questions on about. Um, she ended up addressing, so that was nice. It is unfair to let, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, and so I just didn't understand that portion, and I wanted to clear it up with my subs and my audience that what I had and had not done. So for me, for that, it's closure because, like I said in my initial life, she doesn't owe me or any of us anything, and I still stand by that. She doesn't owe me anything, and so that's where we are. It it I don't know. It was a jumbled sentence that she said, and she mentioned it mixed in with my kid. It was bizarre, but um, pivotal. What is your deal? Okay, you're just sitting time out, and that's exactly it, Skilo. No answer is an answer. And so that's where I'm gonna sit. Can you Yeah, you can tell people about Xanime's live. Yeah. If a mod wants to or can grab the link, go right ahead. Um, Another thing that I did on vacation, I want to share with you guys. So we went down to Seaside. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Seaside, Florida, or heard of it. It's on 30A. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. It's the cutest little town ever. But I love all the little towns on 30A, like Rosemary's Beach and Alley's Beach and Watercolor. They're all gorgeous. All right. Good night, Winnie the Pooh. So, my husband's family lived in Navarre, Florida for a big portion, and now, like his grandparents, they're now deceased. But we decided to go over there on our last day and kind of visit some of his like old stomping grounds from when he was a kid, visiting the summers and stuff. And then while we were there, hey Leo, I decided to go. I realized how close we were to Pensacola and the Escambia Bay Bridge, and so we went to a little florist shop and got some flowers, some sunflowers actually, and we went over and visited the spot where Letitia discarded Gannon like he was a piece of garbage, and visited that little makeshift memorial they have there. And I put those sunflowers there, and the only reason I'm mentioning it is because going there and seeing that spot, just like the second I stepped out of the vehicle, it was just like a wave of emotions hit me. And I don't know if I could ever put into words what those emotions were, what that clarity was, but it was just that none of the other stuff matters, right? None of the stupid piddly back and forths and the calling outs of this and that. And yeah, if you want to do, you want to correct misinformation, you want to do this, you want to do that, that's fine, that's great. But in the end, it doesn't matter. If we're here covering true crime, this is what matters. If we're just covering the drama surrounding true crime, this is still what matters and is what is most important. The victims. Yeah, it does. It makes it very real. Very real. And it just kind of puts you in the headspace that you should be in. Hmm. But and then last night, as I was trying to catch up on a few things going on around here, I heard about the Upchurch lawsuit. And I just thought that I just think it's the best thing. I truly do. I think it is amazing, and I'm very proud that a lot of these victims are standing up for themselves now, fighting back. Because it is important to call out the misinformation and the lies and the bad actors and their behaviors, because they're doing it towards victims, or they're doing it towards completely innocent people, whether it be loved ones, friends, or family members surrounding these victims. And so I think it's great when they find their footing and find their voice and say, hey, I'm not going to allow you to tell the entire world that me and my daughter were fake. I'm going to do something about it. I think that deserves all the applause, everything that we can give in the world, all the support we have. We should be giving it to those people. Compassion, for sure. It is a very sad energy then. It's almost I don't feel like this. Those that know me the most know that like I don't get weird feelings or things like that, but there was a feeling of like evil there. It was indescribable. Thanks, Richard. Right, Monica. He was real. He's very real to this world. And these people that we are covering, the victims, whether they be missing people, murdered people, harmed people, and their families are very real individuals. And we watched a man turn a young teenage girl on the cusp of adulthood who ended up getting into a very tragic accident. But we watched a man turn her story into a soap opera. And we watch it happen with so many cases day in and day out. And I know, I'm well aware that when I point a finger, there are four pointing right back at me. And it absolutely is a gut check moment of whether am I contributing to that soap opera or am I fighting against it? But they're real people. Monica, you're absolutely right. They're not a show on TV. Me too, Legend. Oh, she was a beautiful girl. Yeah, I wish more victims were capable, and not it's sometimes it's not just a financial reason as to why they can't, you know, achieve these goals or this avenue with people. Sometimes it's emotional too, and they just want to bury it and move on with their lives. Right, Leo? Hey, Pecan. No, he's not. He's not the worst. He just had a very loud voice, not just audibly, but like his outreach. He had a very large outreach, and that's what made it so bad. Yep, Zanime went through a year of having to regain her life because of this. And all she did was go out and film footage on location. And in the court of public opinion, she became a target. She became a suspect. Yeah. And that's the thing. We're true crime people supporting these things, encouraging these things, going along with them. And like I said, I know there's plenty of fingers pointed back at myself because this whole week was a chance for me to reconnect, to touch grass, to think about, what am I doing? How am I helping and how am I hurting? And it's very easy to get caught up in stuff. It's very, very easy to get caught up in stuff. There's an analogy that we use often with our kids when they were younger. I don't know where this comes from, but when you put a frog in a cold pot of water and then turn it on to boil. Now, I don't know why you're boiling frogs, but anyway, you put it into the cold water and turn on the heat and you can boil it alive and it won't jump out, even though it's completely capable of jumping out. It has the ability to leave the pot and it doesn't. because it's such a slow burn, such a slow heat up that you don't even realize what you're caught up in until it's too late. And that's not other people's fault necessarily. I think it is important to check ourselves, to have that self awareness, to know that it's time to jump out of the pot. Was that a fake one, Grandma Sherry? I just saw that. I don't know what was said, but I don't know if they were fake or what. I just see the delete, but yeah, it's very discouraging. Same, like I said, I've lost sight too. Right, she became a public suspect. And sometimes I think that's 10 times worse than a suspect to law enforcement. Right. So, Pecan, people are trying to frame this as a money grab. That's ridiculous because they're asking for $75,000. That is not a large chunk of change. And then after lawyer fees and whatever costs they incur coming out here to go through the lawsuit, what they've been in litigation with them for quite some time. So they've already, incurred costs there. You're looking at a small portion they're going to recover. I think it's clear to anybody with half a brain that what they're doing on principle and principle alone. They're fighting back against this, he's a public figure. Maybe he's not a A-list celebrity, but B or something. He's a public figure anyway. And they're fighting back and saying, we're not going to allow you to have said these things about our daughter. Yeah, there was some Lee. There was a couple creators that really played into it and played it up. I don't know if they did it for the money or if they truly believed him or they just enjoyed having him in their chats and around. But yeah, there was creators that were into it. Right. No, not I agree, Michelle. Not all true crime creators are out to be evil. I would say that the bulk majority of them aren't. But we don't hear about that as much because, you focus on the bad typically. I don't know why, but we do. So he gave $100,000 to Ada. I don't know if he gave the money or if he gave the yeah, he gave something to them, and they found her, and then Jared did what he did to family members. Yeah. Well, I was talking about this in my comment section earlier. I remember when Ryan offered the Hellcats because that was the initial offering, and I even clipped it. I couldn't find the clip, but when he offered it, it was a flippant, offhanded remark statement that he was making. I'll offer this to anyone who can find her. AWP didn't set out. They didn't go out to find her, try to find her with the hopes of getting that reward. Now, my feelings on AWP aside, I'm just stating the facts of the time. I don't think that they were in it for what Ryan Upchurch was offering. Now, I think they were in it for other things, uh, attention, notoriety, things like that. But I don't think that they sought out to find her because of what he was offering. Thank you, Grandma. Yeah, he had a huge impact on Ig and Mel. Sure did. I am so surprised at how Ig and Mel was able to bounce back from that, and I think that that speaks to his followers, to the people that believe in him and were loyal to him. because I found him during that. Like, that was the first time I had heard of Vic and Mel was when Ryan pulled that crap with Ronnie and all that. So, um, he grew and he's grown and he's continued to because he's a great creator. So I'm glad that his channel wasn't impacted. I'm sure he was. Yeah, more than just Upchurch for sure. More than that. It's not a choice between money. Upchurch gave with hat, did good, and money. Upchurch gave to creators while pouring out conspiracy theories. Neither hurt him, but his words could have destroyed reputations. Yep. Hey, Greg. Yeah, I agree. They're making a point. Thank you, Good Egg. I still think that I don't feel like it's about money for them, that it's the principle of the matter. And that's another fear, TLC, isn't it? That these victims' family members will stop seeking help on this platform and on other social media platforms because of things like that. He did donate his own money. Gotcha. It's a lot. I know I've been putting out a bunch of clips, so we took down like 300 and some videos when we fixed our monetization issue. And so I've been digging through my files trying to find them all. I think I have like 4 or 5 more left that I'll end up putting out just from that time frame. But been trying to put them out as quick as I can. No, I don't. Well, we might. We might find out. Yep, they were gonna go no matter what, for their own reasons, for sure. I believe all creators who push a false narrative in a hurtful and hateful way should be held accountable, whether in court or by YouTube in way of expulsion. I don't disagree. There is a difference between a conspiracy and theorizing on a case, isn't there? Am I the only one that can see the difference between the two things? Yeah, Pearl, I agree. Right. And I don't think that it's fair to think that you can just throw money at a situation and make it go away either. When we were covering Al Stock and how he felt about the situation with Zav, that's when we learned about the financial issues and financial hardship he had throughout this case, throughout the 3 years of trying to get justice for his son. You know, they impounded 2 vehicles and countless other things that he still had to make payments on, even though they were of no use to him. So he's got 2 vehicles impounded that he's making payments on, and he's left having to finance another vehicle just so he can get around, or however he did that portion. But anyway, there's a huge financial burden that's put on these victims' families that they have to eat the cost of. We don't think about the things in the background that are also taking place, is the point I'm trying to get across. He is great. He gave 100 grand and the Hellcat. Hmm. I think once the lies are out there, people hear them and the lies remain as truth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a person trying to tell me something in the Quentin Simon case is the truth that I'm like, I know it's not, but I know they heard it from a creator. And those things just get stuck in people's minds and you think it is a fact. Right. One has nothing to do with the other. And Burden, we're so sorry about what happened to you too. Mhm. Jenny, I can't either. And why do you think that is? Why do you think I have heard from creators? If I'm wrong, I'll say I'm sorry. Why would you wait until it's pointed out that you're wrong? Why would you just not harm an innocent person or not slander an innocent person beforehand? See, and I'm glad he can do that. He's just going to rise above and move on. I think that's great. You think it's all about money with Lindsay. I'm just going to need to see proof of that. And I asked in my comment section for some other proof that I haven't gotten. I'd love to be able to agree with you and support that. I just haven't seen where that is factual. He did. See, I remember him going live and talking about how he wanted the things back, but I don't remember the receipts. I'm not saying they're not there, but I'm sure he did. If he said he gave him money, he get, whatever. I don't think that wasn't my point at all. Hey Angel, welcome to the streets. Just catching up. Will this court stuff on Ryan? The family make a point. Who next for bad behavior? hmm Yeah, I hope so too. I really do. That's that is, but he's also in a lot of. I agree with you, Kate, and he's also in a lot of lawsuits right now. He's in several. Not even pertaining to this. He's just in a lot. I agree, Sama. See, I didn't think so, Pecan. I didn't remember seeing any receipts. Now I remember the video. He did an Instagram live, yep. Okay, I'll look on Reddit afterwards. Yeah, I know she's not a part of the suit, so I'm not understanding the question there with her and why you would think it's about her for money because it's the dad and the grandpa in the suit. But everybody has things, I guess. Are there any other creators named in the Upchurch lawsuit? Not this one. AWP is Adventures with Purpose. They were the underwater dive team that went out to search for her after local law enforcement had already searched. They are now disbanded, but or maybe there's just a different group. But the group of men that went out to search for her are not the same AWP that there is now. And they found her car. I think it was like on their third waterway search. Right. It's just Ryan and Ryan only. I'm hoping other creators will take notice and see that they can be held accountable for doing the same. Yeah. The AWP site lists that he did give the Hellcat, makes no mention of the money. Okay. Yep hasn't led me astray before, so I'll go check out what he's talking about or they're talking about on Reddit. Yeah, someone said Lindsay was all about the money, but Lindsay's not even on the suit, so Oh, the Hellcat, it does mention it. Okay, hang on, I gotta come over to the YouTube side of things and grab that. Alrighty. Let me share this with you guys. I heard so this is on Adventures with Purpose's website. I heard Ryan Upchurch donated $100,000 to AWP. Yes, that is correct. After the Kylie Rodney case, Ryan made a donation to AWP in the amount of $100,000 on September 15th, 2022. With two AWP teams on the road working cold cases mid-September through the end of October, 100% of this donation was used to help cover the $160,000 budget for food, fuel, travel, and payroll for those under an AWP employment agreement. This donation helped bring home two more missing loved ones found underwater in their vehicles. We thank Ryan Upchurch for being a part of this movement and helping Jared and his wife share the financial burden in keeping AWP on the road. This is definitely not an endorsement from me about AWP. We're just reading the facts here. I heard Ryan donated a $100,000 Hellcat to AWP. Ryan Upchurch donated his Hellcat to one of AWP's employees that was responsible and on scene in the discovery of Kylie Rodney. The transaction was outside of AWP, and AWP did not benefit from this donation. We acknowledge the incredibly kind heart and intention of this donation from Ryan. So, one of those guys that were so it'd be Nick or Doug probably received the Hellcat. So this is on AWP's website. Tracy already dropped it in the chat. So yeah, you can see that they donated the 100 grand and donated a Hellcat to one of them. Yeah, they made it a fax. I know, Good Egg. People who say that parents of dead children care about money more than their loss boggle my mind. Hey, Nick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there is conflicting stories, but I would say that the donation was probably made, or else they wouldn't have put this on their website. Hmm, hmm. You know, I've only ever watched like 20 minutes of that. I wonder if there's going to be suits out against them because I think they did help fuel those conspiracies. I really did. Oh, Sean. They did. They did put gasoline on it. 9 out of 10 creators that make a profit off of victims don't donate anything. I believe you're speaking on the case and you're profiting off of it. At least a small percentage should go to the victims' families. I think that's fair. He probably is, especially with his mom doing everything that she was doing with the houses. And I truly feel like she was doing that to disperse his wealth so that I think she foresaw some of these lawsuits happening and she was trying to hide some things. Yeah. Like I said, this is definitely not an endorsement for AWP. We're just covering those facts there. Hey, Six Up. He gave it to Doug. I would say it's Doug or Nick for sure. The Doug got the Hellcat and Jarrett got the 100K. It was found out what he did to his victim. Yeah, I do remember him wanting it back. Mhm. Well, but I agree with you though. I know you say not me, but I actually do, not from my YouTube things, but most of the victims that I cover have made donations to them. It's just not, it's personal, so it's not something I've blasted on here. But I do agree with what you're saying that if, people are making, especially large true crime creators, you're making a substantial amount off of talking about someone's case, which I don't think that's wrong to do to make the money, if you're sharing, spreading awareness and or sharing a old true crime case, things like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I do think you're right. I think it's a good idea to make a donation to those. Yeah, it's a drop in the bucket. Right. Doug is no longer with AWP. So, No Thanks got money. Zab Girl got money. Dolly Vision got money. Voices got money. No Thanks might have been during the Summer Wells. It might not have been during the Kylie Rodney case. I'm trying to remember who else got money. Did did he make a donation to Molly? Or he was just on her panel a couple times? And then like a couple of small time creators like Dad and Son Reacts, he made donations to them. I don't know who else. Perplexed, did she get a super chat? Mountain Girl, yes, I remember Mountain Girl. Now, I'm not saying that, that was hush money or, hey, let me come up and say whatever I want to say, but those are the ones that received money from him. Wait, yeah, they would. They would. I'm not saying that you have to I'm not saying that it would be mandatory either. I'm just saying what Justin's idea is definitely a good one. Oh, nonsense. I have watched 3 streams since I came back, and one of them was yours on Tyler Feller, and I'm gonna go grab it myself. If you guys have not watched Nonsense's I've never watched Tyler Feller before. Now, I heard of him during the Kylie Rodney case, ironically, because, um I can't type and speak at the same time. Because, he came up on Zab Girl's panel and did an interview. Do you guys remember that? He helped interview one of the AWP guys, and that's the only time I had heard of him until Nonsense's stream yesterday. Holy cow. That made my blood boil. He didn't give me he might not have that time. It might have been during Summers because he came around during Summers case for like 2 or 3 days and gave several people money too. So that's why I said Doug's might have not been during the Kylie Rodney case. It might have been during Summers case. Yeah, he has 5. That's why I said earlier he has like 5 active cases, 5 or 6. Dolly got 500. You don't think Lawrence? I thought she did. I thought he came in, gave her a super chat, and then didn't come to the live that he was supposed to come to, but I could be wrong on that. Yes, Brian gave money to several creators. Several creators, Forgotten Whispers. I was like, he's not even explaining simple biblical things right. I was just so mind blown by your whole stream. You guys gotta watch it. I got money from it during launch. And that just reminds me, I don't know the answer to your question, Sally, but I'm getting ready to load the clip where his mom went on Psychobabble Raps and defended him and said, basically she was proud of what he was doing. It's crazy. Did Justin for All make money? Laura Laura made Voices prove that Ryan gave Voices more than he did. So I don't know how much he gave Laura. I just thought he gave her a little super chat. But he did give Voices $2,000. That was quite a bit. Was he? I didn't. He's done over 150. Okay, so another thing my husband and I did when we were driving back home, we drove through Hoover, Alabama. We actually charged our car like on the opposite side of the interstate of where Carly went to pick up food, went to the Target. So it was like a mile away. Now the case was long over. She had came out like what 3 or 4 days earlier, and said that it was a hoax, all that stuff. So I didn't feel the need to go down and buy anything or any of that. It was just kind of funny. We happened to be a mile away from that spot, and I was telling my husband about who. I said, be careful because when we get out, well, it's charging. We were just kind of walking around and stretching our legs and stuff. And I said, no, we got to watch for the bushes and see if JLR pops out anywhere. And so I was telling him about what JLR was. I hadn't watched him, but that he had been creating a bunch of videos before we had left on her case. And I think at that point, he'd only been up to like 24 videos. And so I pulled it up and we counted, and it was like 65 videos in the span of 6 days. And like 5 live streams this guy had done on Carly's case. It was insane. Insane. I don't know. I thought she did, but maybe she didn't. Really, Pecan. See, I didn't know that. I knew he did it in Summer's case, and I knew, but he didn't do it to that degree in Summer's case. He had just went into a few creators' channels and talked on it a couple of times, and then he was like, "No, this case is crazy. I'm out." I didn't know he did it in Gabby's as well. Yeah, he has people tithing to him, and he's not properly explaining tithes and offerings. It's very frustrating. He is preaching the prosperity gospel over there. And all I'm saying is do your research on pastors that preach the prosperity gospel. Just do your own research. And that I'm not saying, and God wants you to prosper. He does. But not in the way that they're preaching it with the prosperity gospel. It's insane. Right. Does I mean, I know you're talking about Tyler in that one, but that's what I was thinking when we counted up JLRs. I was like 60 some, dang. Laura got 500. He gave JSB money during when he was doing his little summer thing. Tyler Feller. That's who. Oh no, it's over 60. This was a couple days ago. It was at 65. I'm sure there's more by now. I was just like, we just kept counting, and he's like, "Wait, these." He's like, "No, those have to be different cases." I'm like, "Nope, look, same chick, same person." He was just pumping them out. Oh, I will. I will. His Playboy. Does he offer receipts anywhere for his nonprofit church that he's streaming over there? Just curious. They would talk on other panels, and he was really nice to her when she was over at Zab Girls talking to her, and she did the bulk of the talking to him on Zab Girls panel, but yeah, he didn't show up in her streams. Yep, he's a prosperity gospel grifter. He's using the word of God to completely spin a self-serving narrative, in my opinion, but that's just a drop of the issues. It's so much, really. Hmm. I agree with what you're saying about the first part. I don't know about his other issues, but I'm interested in hearing them. She only got $100 or 99 bones. Oh, right. Going out on a limb here. Upchurch gave money and his Hellcat to look for Kylie. Queen Bee's live and self-righteous BTM comments were well think Hive vs Turtles. I'm rereading. I'm not okay. So your first sentence, you're talking about Upchurch giving the money to look, offering a reward is what he did for Kylie. I got that. Queen Bee's live and self-righteous BTM's comments were well. I don't understand what you mean by the Hive versus Turtles. How does that relate to Upchurch giving his money? Maybe I'm reading this wrong. No receipt. Jeez. No. We're talking. Sorry, I know we're talking about two different things. We're talking about creator Tyler Feller and Ryan. Oh gosh, I hope Ryan's not preaching. Thank you. Sorry, we're talking about a hot mess here. Hey, really? If anyone has ever thought a certain someone gets angry on panel, that guy really? See, I don't know if I was reading it wrong. I'm trying to come down and see if there's no update on it. I want to understand what she was saying. It's a comparison of something, but I'm not getting what the comparison is. It depends on what church you're affiliated with. Some churches will allow you to be what they call a teacher or even a preacher to a certain degree without any formal education, but it just depends on the denomination affiliation. Most want you to have education. I would say the bulk. Yeah, I'm just not making the connection. I want to. Well, prayer garden, swear garden. She cusses a lot, and then she prays, and then she cusses, and then she prays, and then she reads you for filth, and then she prays, and then she um photoshops missing children's faces onto creepy pictures, and then she prays, and then she cusses a lot more, and then she prays, and then she um has chit chats with women about weird things, and then but she's not a self-proclaimed pastor who's seeking tithes. So there's a little difference. Yeah, she's not raking in the same kind of profit. But I'll go ahead and drop a link if anyone wants to tell what else has been going on around here besides lawsuits. Like everybody has a lawsuit. I feel left out. Maybe I need to sue someone. Someone should sue me. I do not have a lawsuit, nor am I involved in any lawsuits, but it feels like everybody else is. Is there anything going on besides lawsuits, lawsuit talks, and Ryan Upchurch? Yeah. It was bees versus turtles, sorry, in the lives, that's what it felt like. Well, I get what you're saying, that it felt like bees versus the turtles, but in relation to Upchurch, how? Right. I miss most of this YouTube reel drama. Real content is turning into the Murray Povich show. It really is. No, you're fine. I just had my mind blown. I'm actually now looking at his playboard and trying to keep up with the I was blown away by that. I didn't know who he was, really. It's crazy. Total revenue, $142,000. In how long? Is that in 1 year? Dang. Hang on, let's see here. Hold on. So for 2022, it says his total revenue was 8,000. I'm confused here. Oh, that's his. Okay, that's what he makes from YouTube. The 142,000 is super chats. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Like, I mean, I know these things can be wrong, but that's a lot. I mean, you're talking his worst super chat day is like $150, but most days he's bringing in $400 or $500 a day in super chats. Can that be accurate? One day he brought in over 1,000. That's just in the last month. Oh, I was looking at. Okay, so that's he brought in for July $8,000 in super chats. Crazy. Oh my goodness. People, why do you think people are jealous of Upchurch? Do you have a reason why you think people are jealous of Ryan Upchurch? I'll be right back. I mean, I'm not jealous of his multiple lawsuits. I can't think of one thing I'm jealous of him about. I do like his cars. He's got a lot of nice cars. Yes, I do donate some stuff. Our memberships are all donated. You think he came to see? I don't think he needed the true crime community to sell his money. I really don't. Winnie, do you want your camera off, hon? You don't have to have it on. I don't know if you can hear me. Hang on, let me put this up. Can you hear me, Winnie?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, and you can turn your camera off if you want to.
How do I do that, sweetie?
Are you on your phone?
I'm on my phone. I've got you on the telly, so
I think like when you look down at the screen where you see us on StreamYard, there should be. I can just leave this cover up so they can't see you. Others can't see you.
right. Can I just turn the? Hang on. Can I just turn the volume down on my telly?
Yep, you sure can.
Right. 2 seconds.
Welcome to the streets, Twist. Yeah. Well, Tyler does his super chat trains, getting people to think they're going to heaven if they super chat. He says we need 20 in the next 5. I've got to see that. Oh my goodness. I'm going to talk about that in a second, Alan.
I'm here. I've switched it off.
All right.
Okay. How do I switch the camera off? I've got my camera, chat, more, or leave.
That's okay. I've got this cover up, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right. Okay. Can I just say, I'm here. I'm a member. Absolutely love your channel.
Well, thank you.
But earlier, it was like, obviously, I go on Queen Bee. I go on Dolly's. I'm like a floater. Not a brown one, but I'm a floater.
There's nothing.
I go here, there, and everywhere. Sometimes I comment, sometimes I don't. but I did feel from Queen Bee's bit earlier with beating, I felt it was a bit, Ryan Upchurch, yeah, he deserves to be this, that, and other, and whatever. The thing that gets me, I know it sounds really bad, but Heels and everybody and Sav Girl and everybody, nobody should like feature kids' pictures, autopsy pictures and whatever. Upchurch has done what he's done.
Mm-hmm.
I do like him as an artist, to be quite honest.
Right.
I don't agree with him turning around and being spaced out and turning around saying that Kylie didn't exist. Because she did exist. She was a person. But with autopsy pictures and everything like that, my main grudge, and I know this probably sounds really shit. Sorry, I do say shit.
That's okay.
Or shy, or whatever. Everyone's forgetting, and I'm not sticking up for him. He gave $100,000, was it, to AWP?
Yes.
And then his Hellcat to Doug.
Correct.
But what people are forgetting is, not for him or whatever, Justin, when Kylie was laid in that car dead, he unpixelated and let out to YouTube, to the internet, her pictures. You still there? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just listening to you. I hear you.
Yeah. He unblurred her pictures. And I think everyone's forgetting. Right. I'm not being funny. I have unassociated myself with a lot of YouTube people. For anybody that's going to... Oh, sorry. Can you still hear me?
Yep, I can still hear you.
I'm sorry. I've got a Yorkshire tang. For anybody that issues any pictures of any child, I'm sorry. I've got to put... This is my bit. Whether it's Quentin Simon's pictures or this is what gets me. Like Gannon's pictures, it was bad enough. I listened to the court case and whatever. I'm like a true crime, whatever. I don't mind seeing some autopsy pictures, but not of anything with kids. Anything to do with kids and pets, that's it. I'm gone. I can't do it. Justin unblurred pictures of Kylie.
Justin didn't unblur pictures. You can't unblur a picture in Photoshop.
He did though.
No, what he did was he went frame by frame, second by second, and he found a tiny little portion where AWP did not get it blurred out, and he found this spot where you could see her through the window. He didn't unblur a picture. Just to be fair, that's what happened. I mean, I have the original of it.
But does he get away with that though?
No, I mean, I dropped a clip about it earlier today.
If Heels is gonna get done with it, or anybody else, Sav Girl or whatever, it don't bother me. Pictures of kids it just doesn't do it for me. I'm a true crime person. I've watched everything, not just on YouTube. I've done my own research and everything, but that's still a kid. And if Upchurch's gonna get sued, even though he's gave $100,000 to AWP, even though with that we found out that he was a boo. Yeah.
But what does his donation have to do with the fact that he slandered and defamated
her family, her and her family. They're two separate things. It doesn't matter. You know, her family right now feels like he defamed them. They went back and forth trying to settle this out of court. They didn't reach a settlement, so now they're taking the next steps and having a lawsuit and seeking.
Right, so are they going to sue everybody else that's done everything?
Well, it's not their job to sue the Zav girls, the Heels, the Justins. They have the choice to sue who they think has done those things to them. And in this moment, they think that Ryan Upchurch defamed them. So that's how they're filing a defamation lawsuit against them. It's not up to them to sue everybody else.
Right, so they're just picking on him.
Well, they're not picking on. They're not picking on.
That's what it sounds like. I'm not being funny, right?
Right. Well, so he said a lot of things about those two men specifically, about how her father was fake, how her grandfather was a fake, and how
she didn't exist.
Right.
But he was prepared to pay $100,000, and like even the police couldn't find her. But Ryan Upchurch via AWP.
No. Ryan did not find her. Ryan offered up a reward to anyone having information or leaning to.
I didn't say he went out and found her personally.
But he didn't make a payment to have her. It's not like he called up AWP and said, "Hey, go look for Kylie Rodney and I'll give you $100,000."
No, I know he didn't. Do you know why? Do you know why I didn't? Do you know why I didn't know he did that? Because I was on AWP site way before Ryan Upchurch. So I don't know. But he paid $100,000 to go find their daughter, that the police missed. How did the police and the search team not find her? I don't agree with what Ryan Upchurch said about her not existing.
Okay, but wait,
because obviously that's someone's daughter.
We gotta pull it back in because you're going off on a separate direction. We gotta stay focused on what your initial thing is. You don't think they should be suing Ryan because he made $100,000 donation. And that's ridiculous. It doesn't matter if he donated $500,000 to her reward fund. He still said these things, did these things, and now he's going to be held accountable for those things. And if a judge decides, yeah, he did that, then he's going to have to pay for what he said. But the two have nothing to do with each other. It doesn't matter that donation.
I stand corrected then, sweet.
No, I'm just saying that it doesn't, you can't just buy your way out of things. You can't say, oh, well.
No, I'm not saying that he should do. I don't agree with half of the things that he said.
Right. So, but I don't know. Then why do you keep throwing that $100,000 in there? I guess that part's confusing.
No, because there's other people then that needs suing for saying what they've said.
Yeah, but
Justin Thrall needs suing.
But do we know how much money they have to be able to make these lawsuits against all of the multiple creators that went out and spoke wrong words against them, against their daughter that lost her life in an accident? I mean, that costs a lot of money just for one case.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they can do one case against Ryan, I'm not being funny, and I'm not being, how can I say, I'm not being pedantic.
Mm-hmm.
Or anything like that, but if they can sue him, right, everything, let's partition it off, right? So they're going to sue Ryan. It don't matter what he's put in the bank or whatever, right? So they're suing Ryan. So who else are they going to sue?
Another thing to consider is that those other people don't have 3 million subscribers on their channel. The reach that he had with the toxic words.
Why should that make any difference? Why should that make any difference?
Well, you got to consider
if there was somebody else that had only got 4,000 subscribers. So are they going to get leeway because they could have said exactly the same as Ryan, but because they've got a smaller following, it don't make any difference?
But realistically, you would go for the bigger one. And
Right.
also,
Well,
if you remove money, and whether they can afford to sue multiple or just one, let's just look at the danger that they could have put them in alone. That people think, really? You're going to pretend you have a daughter and kill her off? Like, you're for money? And then some crazy show up at their home and take it into their own hands. Like, there is multiple Sammy's life was at risk. Jagger was at risk. The parents, the grandfather. There was so many people. And then that's not even the creators that also Ryan put all of our lives at risk, calling us pedophiles, like child sex ring, and that we were contributed to murdering her. That's separate.
No.
But
If
just
it's
off their life.
No, there's one rule for one, there's one rule for everybody. So it's not just Ryan.
Okay, I get what you're saying, and I agree, but
it's like, no, if you're going to go for one, you go for all.
But they can't. Like,
why can't they?
Are you going to pay for all of these lawsuits that you want them to do?
Am I talking to Deets or am I talking to somebody else?
There's two of us up here.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm sorry. I know sometimes our voice sounds similar too.
Sorry, confusing.
You just can't sue everybody willy-nilly. They can't come out and sue every single person that, did something.
Right, who am I talking to now?
But this is Deets. But they can sue the loudest, the person that spoke the loudest and said the worst.
Yeah, but that's unfair.
Well,
That's unfair.
The kitty loves
so if I shout louder than you, Deets, so if there's going to be a lawsuit, if I shout louder than you,
I don't mean louder as in figuratively, as in our voices. I mean, he had the biggest reach. He got out there and told over 3
Yeah, but that's not fair though, is it?
It is.
But whose fairness are we concerned about most? I mean, how is he becoming a victim in this? That's the part
I'm not saying he's a victim. Whoa. Let's go back. I'm not saying anybody's a victim. The worst victim in this is Kaylee, because she drowned.
Kylie,
yes.
Kylie. Sorry. English. Sorry about that.
That's
worst, the person that suffered the most was her, bless her. But you can't go just for him because he's got the highest outreach. What about Justin?
So should they, if they only have the funds to sue one person, should they sue none then? Do you think that's the answer? Is for them to
They ought to sue everybody.
But if they only have enough for one?
I don't know, maybe because you realize it costs them quite a bit of money to sue just one individual person. It's not like when you go and put forth a civil lawsuit. This is not a criminal lawsuit. It is a civil lawsuit. So it costs them quite a bit of money up front. They can't just go and multiply that 20, 30, 40 different people.
And now, I mean, it's not saying, and also you got to realize it's the strongest case as well. He did say of the things that were said by people, he said in my opinion, the worst of it, and he said it the most. He said it more frequently.
On set in several spots.
Right, okay, so Zav Girl again was the next one up.
She might be in second place, but she did at least stay on her own panel. For the most part, I saw her kind of sit in her one spot and continue to repeat it to the people that would come to her platform. But yeah, he definitely was at all over all the panels.
No. I'm not sticking up for him, but it's like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. If she was in come out to it, is it because she's had this? I don't understand this American law shit. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I
It's a
plead the
civil.
fifth. I plead the
No,
third.
if it was a criminal lawsuit, if Ryan had committed a crime, then it would not cost the family
No,
to.
but I can't understand. I can't understand how they're going for him. Right. I'm outside of this. I'm in UK. I'm not being funny or whatever.
You
It's
don't have
like
to keep
total loose.
reminding me that you're not being funny, but what do you not understand that they are doing a criminal lawsuit
So
against
because they can get right, okay. From my point of view, then, because
So I have
they
a lot
can
of
get
people. I
from
have
this lawsuit, they
okay, I'm gonna mute you for a second, but I have a lot of people in my chat from the UK telling me that this is the exact same way that it works over in the UK. So what is the disconnect on the understanding? Because I don't want to keep going back and forth and throwing in Zab Girl's picture issue because that has nothing to do with Kylie Rodney and this lawsuit against Ryan Upchurch. So if things are the same in the UK when it comes to civil and criminal law as they are here, where's the disconnect?
right, I've just been told, right, because he's got more followers and everything, the family are going to go for him because he's spread the most basically shit all around the internet. But everybody else at the back of him that spread the same amount of muck, like farmer wise, they get a leeway. They go in for the big one rather than the small fishes.
I don't understand what you don't understand.
Right.
I'm not being funny. I don't understand how you
No,
don't
that I'm not
understand.
being funny neither, Deets. I'm so sorry. Right, so
I have a if you're gonna win something, like so for example, in the criminal case, to win, they would need a lot of evidence. The most that they can have would be their best chance at winning. And so if
which
you
is
only
the
have
bigger
Justin.
fish,
Right, yes, correct. Because
which
Justin
is
did maybe
Upchurch.
one thing. Right. Upchurch did
Right.
multiple things, said multiple things in multiple locations. He did a lot more as one individual and with a far larger reach than a smaller
Right.
channel that only did one thing, like Justin showing the one photo, and maybe from there he speculated some or what have you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Versus what Ryan did. Their
Right.
chance.
I'm just saying, big fish. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you watch any of the streams when it was happening during the case?
I watched, yeah, I followed I followed so many. I'm not like a virgin true crime person. I followed it all the way back. I followed true crime for ages, absolutely ages. Only YouTube bit was the earliest case I watched was, I think it was before Summer Wells, and then it was Summer Wells, and then Monkey Vaughan, and everything else before, after them.
Okay, so you know that when Ryan hopped up on a panel and he was just spreading his theories and conspiracies
Oh
and
yeah,
he
Tin
was
Hats bit.
spreading them as
Yeah.
fact.
And
However,
Zav Girl with yeah.
when he would hop up on a panel, people would ask him as if he was a detective on the case and had some sort of insider information. People were treating him and holding him to a higher standard.
Can
You
I
see what
just say
I'm saying?
something as well? This SF investigations. He thought he was the inside job with Kaylee Rodney. He was a knob.
Okay.
He's never been an investigator in my eyes. Seriously.
Okay.
Sorry. Not sorry, actually.
Well, I just don't I don't understand the jump. We're jumping around here, hun.
No, sorry. I've seen. I understand about Ryan Upchurch, right? I like his music. I won't stand up for him 100%. I've learnt things. The family's going for bigger fish to fry. That's fine. They think they're going to get paid out. Fine. Not a problem. The smaller ones that were on Ryan's back doing this, that. Ictamel. Felt sorry for him. What did they call her?
Zanime.
Yeah. Felt sorry for her, actually, as well. Because I watched it all unfold and it's like, this is ridiculous. But there is, I tell you what, over the last couple of weeks, with all this going off and people going, like, I watch you, Deets. I watch Queen. I watch Joneses. I do watch Dolly. I go in and out, in and out, in and out. In fact, I've been on like the YouTube streets for years and just pop in and out. But it's like, it's so ridiculous lately. It's like, it's mental.
It is, but I mean, what we I think need to keep at the forefront is the victims and the
Absolutely.
families that are also victims themselves, and even the loved ones, whether they're just friends or the community that interacted with the victim that lost their life. I think they need to be held number one, more than the dramas and the backs and the forks and all the things that happen on YouTube. It's a lot, no doubt. I agree with you. It's especially lately, it has been a lot. But this is something it's real. It's real. This is incredibly important. And I know, I mean, I also was accused of things from Ryan, but I still feel that the family, by far, it's awful. I couldn't fathom being in their position and having somebody do what he did to them and to their daughter. It's horrific, and I think he needs to be held accountable. To me, I don't think that it's about the money for them.
No, I don't either.
It's
Can I just
absolutely
ask who you are, sweet?
burden of proof.
Hi, yes.
Well, what is it? Oh, yes, what?
Sorry. You're like me. You're here, there, and everywhere.
I am.
Yep.
Yeah. But not over at Dolly's. I'm at Jones and Deets.
Yeah, I've seen you before.
Chasing
Hi, sweet.
myself. I normally say it my channel too.
Oh, I've not subscribed to you. I might do that later.
I support the ones that I feel are putting out a message that is most important. I'm here for the missing and murdered, and I share that. Hi.
Hello.
I'm David Arquette.
Oh, good thing I did not take that down. Hang on. Okay. All right. Now, well, how about Burden and I get us back on track after that? What the heck?
Did you see something you didn't want to?
No, thank
Okay.
goodness. I was able to kick him quick.
What happened to her? Did
Yeah.
she follow him out?
I guess. Anyway, I think that the point is what was done to not only Kyle or now she's got me saying it wrong, Kylie Rodney, but also to no, you're both no, not doing it. Anyway, also to Burden, Ichabod, and others was horrific. And it was done by a person who had a large outreach, because maybe the word voice is getting confusing, but had a very large outreach. And a lot of people listened to this individual and then became a ripple in the pond and spread out that misinformation to other channels and into other
platforms, even onto Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. Dude, you're gonna get yourself banned. Please stop hopping up here and showing me that. But,
Come on, dude.
I think that it's gonna set a precedent that families aren't gonna take it anymore. These victims' families are not going to take it. And I hope they have the means moving forward. And that's the problem is some of these family members and victims and their families are okay, let me ban this guy from the studio. Got it. So sorry, that just made me yeah, Jeannie, you don't wanna know, but that just made me lose my train of thought. What was I saying?
Hoping that they have the means, other
Yeah, a lot of
families.
them don't have the means to be able
Yeah,
to sue or to bring
exactly.
civil litigation against these people that are doing these things. But I hope that in the future, maybe it'll help other creators to be better with their words, to choose their words wiser. Yeah, no, it's not Jim Terry. It's I mean, I don't know who the guy is. I've never seen him
I
before,
Did you, I'm gonna write to you actually in the back real quick.
but it's interesting. They shouldn't. No, you do not want to. It says for me to ban him, you have to authenticate because it won't let me ban him unless he keeps hopping up here
That
on
I have
something
to?
different. Well, no, now it's I don't know. He might be hopping up here on something different each time.
Mhm. Yep. All of the other accounts.
Yes, I did.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh. Oh, I would love to know about that. Slash really?
Mhm.
Okay, hold on. I got one more thing for you.
Okay. What's the other subjects, other gal? I'll change the subject. Did y'all hear Molly Golightly's coming back to YouTube? I've heard it twice now. Allegedly.
Oh, I'm talking to a muted screen,
When
sorry.
when
Uh,
she says she's gonna be making her way back.
I only saw, that she was having a conversation with some other creator on here, and but I didn't stay to listen because
Mhm.
it's not enjoyable for me, so.
That's what she said it on Laura's last night, and she said it on Jilly's today. I don't know. As a creator, apparently. That's what she says.
If anything, I'm surprised it took this long for her
I
to make the
know.
attempt.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she's going to what means that she took to be coming back. I'm not for sure. Right, Nicole, me either. That's true. That's true. There's different types of advocacy you can do that doesn't take up a ton of your time, but I get what you're saying. Yes. I think he should definitely be issuing an apology, Justin. I don't know how she's gonna do it, but she said it twice now, so we'll see. Molly Golightly. Well, I guess not, but I also did hear her say, because I was listening to it right before my live stream, that there's no money in true crime. True crime is over. Um, I can't remember what else she said, but she had something else negative to say about it. It's not what it was when her and Jonathan and Olivia and Betty did all their wonderful things, and that people have just turned horrible. You think she got 80K just from Kylie's case? Right, chaos. That's what I was thinking. How's she coming back if she didn't appeal? But then, like last night on Laura's, she was talking about because Laura asked her to reach out to Vinnie Politan about Zab Girl, and she was like, "Yeah, sure." Well, then today on Jilly, she was like, "I can't believe what Zab Girl did." Okay, grandma. Look, but she said I couldn't believe what she did, and I can never stand behind people who don't stand up for the children. So she's kind of just like talking out of both sides of her mouth. Can we get a vote? I agree. Oh yeah, if you want to hop up and talk about Feller, go ahead. I don't know a whole lot about him. Nonsense seems to be the one that knows quite a bit, but it always comes back perfectly. We're talking about Molly Golightly's coming back to YouTube allegedly. I don't know. She's taking where? Oh, I missed that part, Alley Cat. Taking YouTube to court.
Oh my gosh.
Right. I would like to see the polls on that as well, Leo. All she has to do is get a different AdSense. So, but like through her husband or kid or something. I don't know because I've seen other creators try that and they take them down. Oh, Gina, don't ever think about deleting yourself. Okay, what's your question? Pearl, I read that in your voice. Oh, happy birthday, Tazzy.
Happy birthday. And I love Pearl's picture with the kitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, I'm not for sure how all that works because I know that Natasha Cooper, didn't she try to create a different AdSense and someone else's name, social security number, she still continues to get kicked? I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure who all she's used, but yeah, she's tried multiple ones
Right,
and lost
circumventing,
it.
that's what it is. And Doug just got in trouble for circumventing, so yeah. Mm. Let me ask Deeds if I can say it here. I don't want to. Can I tell them? Oh yeah. Here, I'll drop the link to your channel. Here, this is a video I had pulled up. You can go to her channel through this video link. Do you support? It's a difficult question. I have no ill will towards her, but no, I unsubbed and I do not support.
I did see because I know. Well, actually, I don't know a whole heck of a lot because I kind of I like to stay clear when stuff gets like too much. I'm like, no, I'm not. I can't. I won't. But I didn't like that. They're just I don't know. It just turned really, really disrespectful because people were so all emotional. All their emotions were high, and I get it. But I mean, I didn't like that. It was only her fourth time ever doing a live, and it's very clear she didn't even know how to use StreamYard completely yet. And
Mhm.
when she first tried to drop the link, she was like, "There you go. I put the link out," and then she's like, "Oh, did it go? Oh, I didn't. All right, let me do that again." And you could tell she was struggling with that first of all by itself. But then you could tell she wasn't reading chat. She was listening and having a conversation back and forth, trying to answer them, and it was very clear she wasn't looking at chat, but there were people that were being like, making statements like, "Oh, well, how big of a channel do you gotta have in order to get lucky to get on the panel? And, you must have to have a larger, channel in order to do that." And it just all really just being nasty unnecessarily. Like, I don't know, I just felt like people were like, that was their moment to just go all in right off the jump on that first one that I just thought it was way overboard. And so I mean, I was seeing some of what Willow put, and I actually was agreeing. I agree with him. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Like, if you guys are asking questions, she's giving the answer,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like, if you don't like it, then that's okay. But
Then
like,
it
that's it. Like, you don't
it
gotta.
right, and her opinions are her opinions. That's why
Right.
I asked the questions, "Do you still feel this way about this specific thing or that specific thing?" I got the answer that she is willing to give, and I have to accept that at face value. And
Right.
so it's up to me, it's up to others to decide what they wanna do with that because she absolutely is entitled to her thoughts and opinions on things. But the previous question, do I support? No. But yeah, it's her right.
Yeah. I wish though that people wouldn't, go out of their way. I don't like to see that anywhere on any person. People going out
Mhm.
of their way to be nasty and ugly to people. But I don't like it. I know that
Yeah.
maybe some, get enjoyment out of that, but I don't. And so I don't know. It was
Mhm.
very strange for me watching it. It was very conflicting because I felt bad for her because of how people were like, there was a part of me that felt bad, and then I was listening to the whole thing, and then I had all these other feelings and stuff. It's I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely not easy.
Gina, you do not have to worry about her. You have yeah, right here. You found a new place to land. You can ignore her. You don't have to go in there. You don't have to listen to her. Don't worry one tiny bit. Yeah. That's kinda what I was talking about at the beginning of the live. There's a lot of telephone game going on. There's a lot of behind the scene things going on, and you just have to make that decision for yourself. Am I going to stay in this pot and wait for it to boil, or am I gonna move forward in life? And no one can tell you what you should do. You have to make that decision on your own. And it's easy to get caught up in things, and it's a lot harder to remove yourself.
Yeah. And when you say like, we got to make our decision for ourselves, I think that that is something that
Mhm.
you do kind of see some people jump on board. And I mean, doesn't mean that they don't have their own concerns and thoughts. Like, actually, your stream, it took two creators to want to target Laura, and they started to question and be like, "Well, okay, like you've got a right to say anything right now. What about what you did?" Da, 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 da." And I was like, "Oh no, 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 no!" And from there, that's all it took. Everybody in chat just was kind of like dominoes, and
Mhm.
chat went so off course. And then it was like getting on top of the creators that were up here having the conversation instead of being about the topic that you were there to discuss. And I feel like it kind of stayed that way, even all
Yeah.
the way up to her live, and it was at that point, those dominoes had all fallen, and they were just sliding together,
Mhm. I
yeah.
was really shocked when I came back and I was trying to catch up, and it wasn't until last night when all this lawsuit with Ryan Upchurch broke out, but it just seemed like everybody was still stuck on that same I truly thought it had, would have moved on to, like, 5 different topics by then, but it hadn't from the at least from the titles of the live streams, it didn't seem like it.
Yeah, I think that there were ended up being that it kind of got an extra add-on layer with, again, people's choices and how they wanna handle it, and then, with Will having his opinion
Mhm,
on a separate one, then turned into like it was like an extension of it, and then that led her to go and do another stream, and they just kinda kept building, and yeah, it did, it just kinda kept
mhm.
going.
Going and going.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think you have to make the decision for yourself based on what you see and what you think and how it affects you, and no one can tell you what decision to make.
Yeah. Yeah, and I hope that I don't know, I feel like there's some good that's been coming of, like, the fact that I mean, not everyone views it good, but the lawsuit right now, I do view as a good thing. I think that it's justice in the right direction, if in fact judge does rule that way, and So I feel like that is something that's positive in the community. And then like Alicia Navarro being found, and I mean, we still gotta wait. We don't know like where she was, and I don't know that we're technically going to be told unless, of course, an arrest is made. But like that was
Yeah.
something that was good news. And um, Taylor Schabusiness being, guilty. And so we're waiting for sentencing. And Monday, Lori Vallow gets sentenced. And I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of positives that
A lot of
have
good things
also happened that
happening. Yeah,
we,
in true crime.
yeah,
Because I
a
was
lot
still
of,
following true crime, just not on YouTube, but there was, yeah, a lot of things happening in the true
mhm,
crime sector.
yeah,
But
yeah. And I
come back.
think for some, it's just easier for them to maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like to be angry and have all the bad feelings. And so I like to kind of get away from that as quick as possible. But there are some, it's maybe whether it's good for their channels to go back and forth, or
Mhm.
the viewers are just bored and they're good with a good like battle back and forth. I don't know. Some stuff is just a little too heavy for me, and I
Yeah.
don't want anything to do with that part. But
Hey, Grandma Sherry, I was getting ready to end this and send people over to Johnson's, but what you got?
Oh, nothing, nothing, nothing. I just wanted to say thank you, Deetsy,
For what?
because, well, because your channel is open for everybody, and I think you have a very balanced approach to talking with people.
Mm.
And so does Burden. She's sweet. If you're not
Wait,
subscribed to Burden of Proof, please do so.
and encourage her to get monetized.
yeah,
We're
when
all
YouTube,
trying to get her to.
I
Have,
want
YouTube's gonna let me.
emojis.
have they
Yep,
dropped that strike off you yet? Or
of course
the,
not. No, I gotta
the
ride it for 3 months, so it'll be
uh,
October. So I have like one additional thing to be excited when fall time comes. I could look forward to that.
yay! The new
Yay.
channel. I'm excited for that. I'm sorry that they have that on there for you, but
It's so annoying. I'm like, you guys are just idiots, and it's so frustrating. Oh, also, I had seen that, when was it? This past week, somewhere, probably somewhere in the studio, YouTube studio, I saw somewhere where it said, YouTube was gonna begin, getting stricter on the handles on people's names, account names, handle names, and I was like, "What? Really? You don't say so." So I went and took a look over at the one that likes to accuse me of being a child killer, and they're
mhm.
gone. That account's gone. So, I mean, I don't know who they are, what they are, but
Really?
that one's gone, yeah. So,
So what did they mean they're getting stricter on handle names? Like they can't
mm,
change you can't change your handle name or
no, I think they're
you
talking
can't
in regards to
duplicate?
yeah, I think they're talking in regards to the, type of name if it's were to be something that's falls within their terms of service. So if it's still like something
Oh, yeah, I
inappropriate,
gotcha.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Let me see if I can find it again. I'll tell you real quick, but I don't even know where it was. I stumbled upon it accidentally and left it quick to go take a look at that one.
Yeah, yep, and perfectly and it's not like I get what you're saying, and you made your opinion known, and you moved on, right? And so that's all we have to do. Unless there's something happening currently pertaining to a true crime case, I don't think that there's anything I would cover on the matter. But that's just me. Oh my gosh. I just had like a migraine pop up out of nowhere.
Oh, I've been having them the past few days as well.
Oh, me too.
It's just like on my left temple. I hate it when you get like I'd rather almost have a headache all over than one targeted tiny location because it feels like it's all right there. But Joneson's gonna be going live. And she's talking about I think it's gonna be really good. It's about the dark history of Lake Lanier in Georgia.
Oh yes, I was so excited when I heard her give a little info and say that she was gonna do one. That I'm really interested in hearing about that.
Yeah, I am too, because I looked it up after she told us about it the first time. It's like they basically just flooded the town and moved on. I guess it's extremely haunted too. Here's to her live that she's doing. I think it's gonna be a real. I'm gonna listen to that one and I think put like a cold compress on my temple.
Yeah, we have and where I live, there's actually a lake, but it's similar. But I don't think it made me want to look deeper into my situation because there was a
Mhm.
lake built, and it was built on a town, over a town, through the town, like right over it. And there is still stuff down under there too. But the only part that was different is that I didn't hear that it had anything specifically to do with that it was intentional for because of race or anything like that. So I don't know if that could be a part of it. I don't know why they did it. So kind of interesting. What if they did this all around and
Um, Mona Lisa, sorry, I'm just trying to let me be clear. I'm not okay with the things that were said in that blog, and I do not support them at all. 110%. Not okay with it. Don't support it. I'm saying I asked the questions of her that I was curious about. Some I got a response on, some the lack of response told me everything that I needed to know, and that's why I have unsubbed and moved on. But no, I am not okay with it, nor do I support it. But if you're talking about what I think you are, but maybe it was a long conversation. Thank you. I don't know what she's talking about.
yeah, that's what I would have guessed, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I think it's going to be an interesting thing that she says.
Wow.
Talking about the things that were said in my chat on that first live about heels. Well, I can't. I mean, there was like 1,200 people in here. I'm not accountable for everybody's words at all.
Yeah. And I mean, I can only say so many times in capital letters, like, please
Mhm,
stop attacking. Do not attack anyone on panel. Do not
mhm,
attack heels. I specifically said, do not attack her. Like with your words, do not attack her.
yeah.
Don't. We can have a civil conversation. You can give your opinions all the way, any direction, the furthest end of the direction, but don't use hateful attacking words. And I asked and asked, and eventually I was like, "Yep, we are so far off course. There's no bringing it. The only one is going to be Deets. I know that that's the only shot."
Mhm. Mhm.
But they didn't say it just.
What is that?
What just happened? Did you
What
just
is
mute?
oh, oh, hang on, it's Jason's live. Okay, Joseph started. I had pulled it up to grab the um link and it just started playing and I didn't know where that music was coming from.
It was so weird. I was talking, and then I'm like, "How am I muted?" And now I'm not muted. And I was like, "Did you just mute me? What the
I did
heck?"
mute you for a second because I didn't know where that sound was coming from and I was like, "Wait, what is that?" And then it didn't go away. I'm like, "Okay, it's not her." So I unmuted.
It's
And then I
funny.
was like, "Oh, wait. Yeah."
Well, I
Um
hope that your head feels better.
no, I thank you. I don't know what happened there, Leo. Um I have so many emails to go through. I'm sure whatever you're talking about is in them and I'll figure it out, but your mods are no one was I'm not gonna reprimand anyone for what they say. Everybody in here is an adult and they can handle themselves. And as long as they're not attacking someone's gender or someone's race in here, I you can self-monitor. I'm not everybody's mom or school teacher or any of those things. So you guys are accountable for your own actions and your own words, not me. All right, guys. Sorry, this little migraine just really got to me all of a sudden. So I'm going to go and I'm going to be putting out some more clips that I have stored away from the Kylie Rodney case. And then I'm going to make a couple videos. Okay. Hey, have a great, thank you for letting us know multiple times that you're leaving. Have a great flight. I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah, everyone is responsible for themselves. Thank you. Sorry, I'm getting grouchy. But I'm gonna blame the migraine. I'll see you guys on the next
Hope
one.
you
Thank
feel
you,
better.
Burden. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Good night.
Night. Thank you. I don't know. That just popped up. Maybe it was earlier. I don't know. But I will see you guys on the next one. Love, love.